RAF Hope Cove radar station. This is the main entrance to the bunker, and we'll wander up the steps now and have a nosy round inside. Steel blast doors here. But maybe worth noting that there's no airlock system here. And the only seal really on this door is a very, very thin piece of rubber. And that's pretty much what formed the airtight seal. Quite ahead of its time in many respects for 1951. Though the later bunkers did have an airlock system whereby you could come in, close one door, take off any polluted overalls, and then move through the next door, thereby not bringing any pollution or any pollutants into the bunker. We'll wander downstairs and have a look at the operations room. These RAF structures were fairly much built on a standard pattern, so it's possible to look at other bunkers of a similar era and it'd be hard to know which bunker you were actually in, because they're all almost identical. Now, we're just on the ground level now. This floor level is actually below ground, approximately 12 feet below ground. The first room here on the right was in its original RAF days. This was the GPO apparatus room. Latterly, in the 1960s, when the Home Office took it over, this became the GPO switchboard room. And you'll see in the next image a photograph of this room as it was in the 1960s. And interestingly, well, for me anyway, my stepfather was a GPO telephone engineer in Kingsbridge, and there's a picture in the photograph that you'll see. He is just standing over there on the left-hand side, smoking a pipe. We're walking down the lower corridor now, past the communication centre, and another noteworthy fact here is that these three doors are heavily steel reinforced with Brahma locks. I'm told the Brahma locks were the Rolls-Royce locks of their day, and they're used in many of the government prisons. Now a left turn here will take us into the operations room. And here is what used to be the RAF operations room, and you'll see in the next image how it looked in its RAF days. And when the Home Office took over, they converted it slightly, put this new floor in to give more space and more rooms up above, and to use up the space rather than just having a large vacant space. It's quite interesting because RAF national servicemen who've returned for a visit can recall being in here operating the radar systems. Now, these current maps here are from the regional seat of government days, as this bunker was in its original form RSG 7, Area 7, and the outline on this map, as you can see, the complete southwest was under the control of this bunker. Now if we go in a bit closer, you can see with this where that marker is, right down on the tip of South Devon, that's where this bunker is located. And it's quite extraordinary how large a population was covered and looked after by this bunker. Latterly, they divided the region into two and used another anti-aircraft bunker up in Ullenwood, which is near Bristol. And then even further on from then, when Margaret Thatcher was spending money again on civil defence in the 1980s, she built a brand new bunker at Chilmark. But this was still retained and in control of Area 7.2 even in those days. So that the area was slightly smaller, but this bunker still controlled and was going to look after a vast area and a huge amount of the population. Somewhere the estimates go, the population of that area could be up to anything between 3 and 5 million. And the reason really that this bunker was used was because it was already here.